How's it going, ladies and gents? This is RJ here again. Now, I've been spending some quality time with the Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands Open Beta that Ubisoft released this weekend, and I'm going to give you just some of my impressions, thoughts, and kind of quick review on what I think of the game and how it's kind of shaping up so far. Now, the game itself is a kind of soft reboot for the Ghost Recon franchise. It goes to the modern day setting of the original Ghost Recon game, kind of ditching the near future settings of Advanced Warfighter and Future Soldier. So you can expect not as many kind of insanely futuristic gadgets and all that stuff that were in the previous games, but we'll get to some of that later. So Bolivia has become destabilized by the rise of the Santa Blanca drug cartel, and with various factions kind of warring. There's rebels fighting against the Santa Blanca, plus a military force called Unidad, which are most of the time fighting alongside the cartel. Bolivia is in an unstable position, so that's why the ghosts are sent in to eliminate various members of the cartel and hopefully bring stability back to the country. Now, the map size that Ubisoft has created for this game is one of the most impressive ones that I've seen in a game so far, and I think the biggest that Ubisoft have created in any of their games. It's very, very big. Two of the areas were unlocked in the beta, so you start off in one that's very sort of jungle-like. It has very light kind of forested areas. It's got small villages, lots of mountainous roads, waterfalls, rivers, and the like. And each of these areas of the map is controlled by one of the kind of lieutenants in the cartel. Once you eliminate them, you unlock a new part of the map. And in the beta, you unlocked a second part, which is much different. It's got nice mountainous, snowy peaks, a big lake, and some more desert sort of areas. So there's a good variety, it seems, in the map geography. Now, as with many previous Ubisoft games, your character has skill trees. So as you progress through the story doing the main or side missions, you acquire skill points. These can be used for various different things, such as upgrading your drone, physically upgrading your character so you can take more damage, sprint longer, and also upgrade your equipment so you can get things such as C4, distraction grenades, trip mines, and other things like that. Now, one of the most popular features that was introduced into Ghost Recon Future Soldier was the Gunsmith weapon customization menu. This basically allows you to split your gun into all its component parts. You can swap them out for different ones that you've picked up. You can upgrade them. You can apply different paint to the guns. Basically, it is like a little gun porn simulator. It's really, really good if you're a fan of like really customizing the loadout you have and going into detail at your weapons, splitting them up and putting the different attachments onto them. And those of you who are fans of the Future Soldier Weaponsmith feature will be very at home here, as Ubisoft have kept up the quality that they had in that game with the weapons in this, as each of them are really superbly detailed and well modeled, and plenty of them. There is really a lot of guns to choose from your standard assault rifles, shotguns, automatic shotguns, light machine guns, sniper rifles, pistols, and all of that. And there is also specially modified guns that you get from killing the Santa Blanca lieutenants in the different areas of the map. These weapons are like your regular weapons, but they have specific paint jobs, attachments that can't be switched out, unfortunately, but they are very, very useful and pretty cool to look at as well, so they're worth picking up. The upgrades and attachments to the weapons are located pretty much like skill points are around the map, so you can search for different stocks, barrels, suppressors, scopes, and others just from seeing in your map which ones you've unlocked. Now, with the map size in Ghost Recon Wildlands being as large as it is, you would hope that there's lots of ways of getting around it, and of course, Ubisoft has you covered. They've included loads of sea, land, and air vehicles to help you get around and basically transport you anywhere you need to go on the map. By far the easiest way to cover the distances between all the areas in the map in Ghost Recon Wildlands is by using either a helicopter or a plane. I found the handling for the helicopter a little bit hard to get used to at first, but after a few hours you find yourself pretty much flying it at ease. It's very much like Grand Theft Auto in the fact that when you get into a helicopter first, the first thing you're probably going to do is crash it straight into a mountain. Or you find yourself jumping out and bailing once you realise you have absolutely no control of direction of flight. Thankfully, the light aircraft that you find around the map are much more easier to control than fly, so there's always that option if you want to give the helicopters a little bit of a break. There was only one type of light aircraft in the beta, so unfortunately no jet fighters or passenger planes in the game so far, but we'll wait and see once the full game is released if they include any of that, which would actually be good fun. I would like to be flying around in a jet fighter over Bolivia, so fingers crossed for that inclusion. Now, as for approaching the missions themselves, there's lots of different ways to do it. The most obvious one, and the one that's probably most favoured by everybody, is doing a stealth approach. All the weapons you have from the start are equipped with suppressors. So, the thing to do is pretty much just recon wherever you're going to attack first, use your drone, send it up flying, mark out enemies, and identify where they all are. Once you've done that, if you're playing on your own, you've got 3 individual squad mates to control. You can do that with a radial wheel and give them basic commands such as hold fire, move to position, and fire on command.
I've got eyes on the captain.
One of the features from Splinter Cell that has been brought into the Ghost Recon franchise is the sync shot mark. This is a really useful feature when you've got AI teammates, as you can mark up to 3 individual enemies and on your command take them all out simultaneously. It's very, very useful, very effective. Feels pretty good too when all the enemies drop down instantly and you still remain undetected. Of course, stealth isn't the only approach that you can use. You can choose to remove those suppressors, go full Rambo, and attack the villages and different outposts full Rambo style. Although, word of warning with that, enemy reinforcements do get much harder as the game progresses. At first, it might only be a car full of lightly armed cartel members, but after a few missions, you'll find yourself up against very heavily armoured military forces of the Unidad faction, and attack helicopters as well, so watch out for those. Now, one thing that I really dislike personally about a previous Ubisoft game, The Division, was the gunplay. It's very different to Wildlands in the fact that enemies aren't bullet sponges, so when you're firing at an enemy you won't get numbers popping out of their head. It's not very RPG-like in that regard. It sticks true to the kind of real-world premise that if most enemies one shot to the head, they're dead. That's something I prefer, that's something I know a lot of people prefer, and some people didn't like in The Division as well, so that's different to The Division in that regard, which is a good thing in my book. That being said though, the gunplay, in my view, feels a little bit lightweight. It doesn't have the impact, the guns don't really have the punchful sound a lot of the time. Some of them are quite good. I've picked up a few sniper rifles in the beta that have a really loud booming sound, and that's really good, but I thought for the most part the assault rifles, pistols, shotguns, the feeling and sound of them just weren't as forceful as I wanted, so hopefully that is not something that will hold too many people back. One thing which might though is your squad mates and enemies' AI. I found it a bit hit and miss at times. When you're doing a mission and you're remaining undetected, your squad will keep stealthy and most of the time remain hidden from enemies. But when a gunfight starts, squad teammates just run around. They hide from cover to cover, but a lot of the time found them running out in the open. The same can be said for the enemies, as once everything starts to hit the fan and a gunfight breaks out, you'll see a lot of them just stand in the open, expose themselves to getting killed, and don't really do that much flanking. So, we'll wait and see how the AI pans out the game. The creative director of Wildlands has stated that the enemy AI has its own motivations and agendas against the players. So I'm going to reserve judgment on that one until we play the full game. We'll see how it goes. Of course, the preferred way of playing the game is not with squad AI, but with people in the real world. So Ubisoft has created a drop-in, drop-out system for multiplayer. You can drop into your friends' sessions, they can drop in and join you. The good thing is you can replay missions you've already done. If a player hasn't played them yet, you can replay them with up to 3 teammates, and it is very, very good fun. One thing I don't know is that if you're able to play missions on another friend's campaign that are way ahead of yours. It's not something I'm aware of yet, and hopefully it won't be included, as you'll be able to spoil your own campaign if you're playing their missions. And this is where I had the most fun playing Wildlands over the beta weekend. Doing the missions with friends cooperatively. Having a real squad mechanic was a really good feeling. You know, you'd scout out a base, assign different roles and weapons to everyone, so everybody would have different kind of loadouts and attack at different points. Coordination is key, spotting all the enemies, sharing locations, covering each other's back. You know, it's all really good. That's what it excelled at, and that's what I feel a lot of people will be drawn into Wildlands for, and it's a very good thing. Another thing that I have to give a big thumbs up to Wildlands is the map design and graphics. It really does look nice. They've captured the South American feel and look down to a T. You know, it looks really authentic, whether it's day or night. The vistas you have and the scenery looks amazing. Like attacking a base in the middle of the night when it's raining and you've got thunder and lightning, and the lightning strikes lights up the whole landscape. It really does look good. So big props go to Ubisoft for creating a game with as much graphical detail and finesse that they have. You know, they've been pretty derided for releasing games with a lot of downgrades in graphic quality since they first showed the games, such as Rainbow Six Siege and Watch Dogs most notably. But I feel that with Wildlands and Watch Dogs 2 before it, Ubisoft are creating games which are more on point to what they showed first when they launched them, so that's a very good thing. I played the beta on PC and found that the optimization options were very good too. As with the aforementioned lighting and texture quality, the draw distance was very impressive. So no matter what machine you're using, you can see real-time effects as they happen and as you change them. So in conclusion, for my time with the Ghost Recon Wildlands Beta, I would have to say that the game is shaping up rather well. It's a very good tactical shooter with good drop-in, drop-out multiplayer gameplay. The game itself is well designed, it looks fantastic, and it sounds very good too. The one big thing that concerns me about the game is the replayability of it. You can go through the game solo and do all the missions co-op if you want, but then once they're done, do you really want to be going back doing the same missions over again against the same AI? I don't know. That's something which we're going to have to see whether people want that. It's the biggest thing that's kind of putting me off at the moment, but all in all, the game itself is very good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and leave a like and subscribe if you want to as well. That helps out a lot. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you again soon. Take care.